The Day Humanity Changed the Stars. HFY Sci-Fi Story. Chapter 1. The Song of the Suns, I Am Not Human. I am Nelyr of the Vale Orchard, archivist by scent and sound, and the keeper of a story with gravity in it. This is the day the map of heaven changed. This is the day. Humanity reached up and moved what the rest of us thought could not be moved. We mark it on our calendars as the pivot. Humans call it simply the day. Back then, our cluster was a necklace of warm beads, 7 settled systems, dozens of outposts, 1,000 small hopes strung along dim lanes. Beyond the lanes, a rogue mass wandered, a quiet, patient thing with jaws made of math. We called it the Wanderer, a small black hole, old and hungry, barely glowing. Its path was a whisper through equations. But when equations whisper long enough, they grind mountains to dust. The Wanderer would not eat our suns. It would nudge them, a fraction of a fraction, enough for orbits to tangle, for tides to wreck seasons, for the necklace to knot and snap. We had 47 years by the most generous models, then 29, then a bad set of measurements cut it to 6. 6 years. To save 7 skies. Evacuation? With what ships? With whose fuel? With what patience for the old and the small? Petitions? We stacked them like bricks and called it a wall. Gravity walked through. We tried to buy time with prayers written as budgets. The budgets obeyed us, the stars did not. Then humans arrived. They came with a flyer that smelled of printing heat and oil, and a smile that said, "We brought a ladder." The flyer's title was understated in the human way. Project Needlework. Below it, a line. If the universe is a fabric, let's learn to stitch. The human lead was Amina Reyes. Not the tallest in her team, not the loudest, just the one who looked at the blackboard and saw a door. Her hair was short, copper flecks like sparks in a weld. Her voice carried the habit of explaining to people under pressure. I did not like her. First, because she was human. Second, because she was right in ways that made my elders wrong. Stars can be nudged without dying, she told the council. Not by shoving, by singing to them. We laughed, quietly. We were very polite in our dread. Amina didn't flinch. She laid out the plan like a map folding open. Project Needlework, chorus. Engines anchored in the chromosphere, plasma sails with superconducting ribs and gravitational amplifiers, photon tugs and fusion kites, little mirrors with big math, swapping momentum with starlight itself. Resonance gates, not holes in space, but arguments with it, coax the star to wobble, then catch the wobble with a second and third, make a harmony, make a nudge become a path. Stars hum already, Amina said. We'll add a note they can't ignore. Stars that sing, murmured Scholar Rec of the Ninefold Lyceum. He spoke for my people's caution. He wore caution like armor. And if they tear? He asked. They won't, Amina said. If we keep it under the shatter thresholds, we're not changing what they are, we're changing how they lean. She looked at us, with a face that said she'd already run the math twice. You have 6 years, she told the council. We have 2 if we start. Now. And so we started. Humans poured into our systems like a tide of small ships, not sleek, not elegant, just relentless. They brought orchard ships, unfolding skeletons of mirrors, star skimmers, sipping plasma and spitting out power, grav choirs, racks of coils that could feel a sun's heartbeat. Listen first, Amina said. Don't conduct until you know the melody. For months, we listened to our suns. They spoke in pressure waves and patience. They sang to anyone quiet enough to hear. Do you hear the 5th overtone? Said a young technician named June. That is where we sing. The first chorus engine went to Hester 3, a polite K-type star with a single fertile world. We called the engine Madrigal, because humans insist on poetry even in machinery. Anchoring, it was like shaking hands with a wildfire. You do not squeeze, you simply hold. Madrigal bit the light and bent it back upon itself. Photon pressure humbled. A star's pulse ever so slightly shifted. We felt it in the numbers first, then in our bones. The night sky hummed a different note. The work multiplied. Every system needed a score, a composition of pushes and rests, sung across years. We learned the moods of suns. We learned the patience of humans. The project took on a rhythm until bureaucracy tried to silence it. Merchant houses filed injunctions. Governance. AIs screamed of unquantified risk. Amina didn't flinch. She opened the network to the public, dockhands, pilots, children. She showed them what failure looked like. She showed them how we could live instead. And they listened, because the truth sounded simple. Stars have always been our parents, she said. Today, they're our dance partners. We can learn the steps, or we can sit down and wait. They didn't sit down. They stood and worked. That was the first time I thought, maybe this species doesn't know how to give up. Maybe that's why the universe keeps giving them impossible tasks. Chapter 2, The Day the Map Changed. Work continued. The years compressed like coiled wire. We failed often. We learned faster. Failure 1. Pedal 14 on the lensing bloom at Bellatrix. Miner buckled under a microflare. 12. Gone in 16 seconds. Amina spoke each name before she slept. Then she ordered stronger. Ribs. The next bloom held. Failure 2. The resonance gate at Ophelia. Fell in love with its own frequency. It screamed with quiet gravity and tore itself apart. Amina rewired the choke circuit, not to stop the scream, but to make it boring. Failure 3. Me. I told her to abandon Kesh, a small dying red star. She said, we won't save everything, but we'll save everyone we can, and we can save Kesh. We did. At the cost of a winter's sleep. But we did. The wanderer drew closer. Its path bent light. Its hunger bent hearts. Children asked if stars could cry. We told them yes. Sometimes stars weep light. A boy asked Amina, will you move the bad thing away? No, she said softly. We'll move us out of its way. And he nodded, because that was enough. By year 4, the cluster was singing. Suns leaned, planets danced, and our fears took shape as progress. Then came Haro, the star that broke. A coronal loop snapped like a whip, and our chorus engine canticle caught the wrong note. If it tore, the system would go super bright. Everything gone. Amina's ship kindly wasn't built for rescues, but she burned toward it anyway. Don't go, I begged. Let the fail-safes handle it. They can't, she said. It's a human mistake. Let a human fix it. She entered the scaffolding herself, hands trembling, heart steady, June's voice in her ear. Clean frequency. No harmonics, she laughed once. Good. Keep it steady. She turned the manual wheel. The engine sang true. The star listened. And slowly, so slowly, the storm became a song. Her suit melted in the light. Her voice faded mid-sentence. Her body returned in silence. We lost her. But her song remained. We did not stop. Her death became our language. Every ship bore her emblem, hand turning a wheel. Conduct. Don't pretend. Sing, don't shout, listen, always. By year 6, we were ready. 7 stars, 7 engines, 1 orchestra. June took command of the final sequence, Needlework proper. His voice echoed across systems. 3, 2, 1, begin! Chorus engines bloomed. Photon sails flexed. Lensing pedals turned like dancers. Stars moved. But The Wanderer arrived early, too early. One gate trembled out of tune. The resonance started to fray. And in that chaos, a small Vale Orchard engineer named Lay spoke. "I'll fix it manually." They told her no. June said yes. She crawled inside the gate, whispering to the machine, "You want to be interesting. Don't be. Be boring. Be old." The gate settled. The rhythm held. The Wanderer slid past, missing us by a hair thinner than light. We did not cheer. We simply breathed. When the final handoff finished, the numbers stilled. The sky held, and the map of our heavens changed. The impossible had been sung into obedience. Later, we built a ring in the dark. At its center, a single handhold, Amina's broken grip from Canticle. We don't call it a shrine, we call it a handle. Every new pilot grips it once and says, "I will hold on when it's hard. I will let go when it's time." Did humanity change the stars? Yes, but not with war or pride, with patience, with rhythm, with love disguised as physics. They didn't demand the universe to kneel. They simply asked to dance with it. When my brood asks what humans are best at, I tell them, they change what everyone else accepts as permanent. That's their genius. That's their burden. Every year, we darken our cities. We look at the corrected constellations. They look ordinary now, and that's the miracle. A miracle that feels like weather. We whisper their names, we play June's countdown, and then we go back to work. Because the stars still hum, and we still hum back. And somewhere, in the quiet between systems, a human voice still counts. Soft, calm, conducting the universe.